Bachelor Nations Bennett Jordan reveals he's pursuing Kelley Flanagan and that he even asked for Peter Weber's blessing. Hey guys, welcome back to another shared news from home. We have all the details on this interesting turn of events in Bachelor Nation, but before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I am your host, Fiona Zaring, and I'm joined by the wonderful Mariah Davis. Mariah, we haven't really heard too much from Bennet since Tayshia's season wrapped. Obviously, some fans loved him. Some fans weren't feeling him so much by the end with all of that crazy Noah drama. What did you think of Bennet when Tayshia's season was airing?
I didn't follow too much with Tayshia's season, but what I did see was when the Noah drama with him had really escalated and Tayshia was like, I'm done. Someone's got to go. And she sent him home. And then he showed back the next day and was really like aggressive about how he was not leaving. And I always find that really uncomfortable. And I think that's not okay when any contestant does that. Like, no, you didn't mean to send me home. You definitely want to keep me on. I think that's so creepy. So I'm going to be honest, not a Bennet fan. He definitely gave me some not great vibes. I won't go into detail because I don't want to be mean and I don't know him. Maybe he was just cast in a negative light, but not the biggest fan of Bennet.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I remember like when we met him and when Claire was there even, and then early days with Tayshia, I thought like, okay, I wouldn't go for that guy. He's a character. He's really like true to himself, confident. He has this whole like shtick going, like, he's fun. We'll keep him around. But then by the end of that Noah drama, when he gave him whatever that book was about like becoming a man, I don't know, he just was so cocky and unlikable by the end of that conversation. Like you said on their 2-on-1, that I kind of wrote him off. And really, it sort of changed the way I looked at him throughout the whole season up until that point. So definitely one of those people in Bachelor Nation that kind of like puzzled everyone. Like we weren't exactly sure what to make of this person. And now he's back. He's shooting his shot. He just stopped by Ben Higgins and Ashley I's podcast. And he revealed that he is totally into Kelley Flanagan and actively trying to make this happen. So just when we thought we were done with Bennet, we have got more updates on his love life to unpack. He told them, quote, I've been pretty upfront and honest and intentional with my interest, and it is with one lady. Her name is Kelley Flanagan, certainly quite interested in Kelley. It's so funny because I can literally picture him saying, certainly quite interested in her. He just has this way about him. But we actually have been seeing him, you guys, comment on her Instagrams. He definitely has been making his interest known. His comments started popping up back in March. So this is something that he has been thinking about for some time. He did explain why she's captured his attention. He said, quote, she's obviously a very, very smart girl. She's very well spoken. I think our journeys and the way it's sort of played out on TV is very similar. So pretty interesting. Bennet is 36. He lives in New York. He's a financial planner. Kelley is 29, a lawyer. We know she's moving to New York City. Do we see them hitting it off? Initially, I like really didn't see it, but then the more I thought about it, I think there might be a chance. I mean, it would be an interesting match.
No, I completely feel the exact same way. At first, I was like, no, because I'm not a fan of Bennet. And I know I always feel kind of crappy saying that about anybody that was featured on one of the shows because we don't know them. You know, we only see what producers make of them. So I feel unfair saying that. Initially, I was like, no way. Like, I'm over him. I do not want him with Kelley. Like, can she not just land like a decent guy? Maybe he is a decent guy. I think physically, like if I saw them on the street and I didn't know who either one of them were, I would be like, oh, they're a cute couple. Like they make sense. And maybe they do make sense. Maybe they're very compatible. When I try and think of Kelley's personality from Peter's season, I don't think, oh yeah, she'd be great with Bennet. But then again, who knows? So maybe they do hit it off. They're both going to be in New York. If he's actively pursuing her, you know, I'm sure that eventually they will meet up if they haven't already.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'm with you. I mean, Bennett is one of those people who, when that season wrapped, I genuinely wasn't exactly sure what to make of him. And I think that you're totally right. He obviously is such a character. We don't know him personally. We don't know exactly how his edit went down. I do think that that Noah conversation is a little tough to like dance around,
Yeah.
but everyone has more than one side. Everyone has a bad day, a bad moment. So don't want to write him off entirely. I do, it kind of comes down to personalities for me though. I'm not sure if I exactly see it. But we haven't really seen Kelley like on our TV screens, seeing how she like communicates with people in a while. So she could have evolved, a lot. Maybe they would totally hit it off. They haven't met up in person, but they have been communicating. It's not like he has never spoken to her. On the podcast, he said they've been in touch on Instagram, so maybe some DMing back and forth. He added that he didn't want to put her on blast, but does think there is a lot of good similar overlap. And he also said, quote, potentially mutual interests that could be worth exploring. So clearly he is interested in exploring. I mean, that is like the understatement. He actually ran into or met up with Peter recently and decided that this was so important to him, it was worth putting it all out there to her ex. He said, quote, being the guy that I am, kind of taking things head on, calling a spade and going for it. I actually met Peter. After about the second or third tequila shot, I just threw it all out there and said, I'd like to address the elephant in the room. Is it awkward that I have interest in flirting with your ex? So listen, one of the things that stood out to me from the moment he got out of the limo or out of his Porsche or Rolls Royce, whatever it was he got out of, Bennett doesn't lack confidence, right? He knows who he is, he knows what he wants, and he's gonna go for it.
I just think that's so weird. Like that just confirms all of my icky feelings about him. And they're not like a newly broken up, or no, they're not a newly broken up couple. Really hasn't been that long since they, called it quits. So I just think it's weird that you would go up to someone like, I'm gonna be honest. Is it weird that I want to flirt with your ex? Like, if someone said that to me, I would be like, pardon? You can leave. Like I would not like that. And I'm cool with all my exes, like there's no beef there, but like don't say that to me ever. So that just confirms that I think he's icky. But I also have this I wonder, if they are communicating with each other in the DMs and there seems to be some overlap, then do we think they're going to go on Paradise and pursue each other, or do we think that they're going to stay away from Paradise to pursue each other? I feel like if Kelley has an opportunity to go on Paradise, she should, like get the lay of the land. I'm just not for Bennett, especially after finding that out. I'm so grossed out.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's a bold strategy. I certainly can't imagine anyone coming up to me and saying that, how I would react, or somehow mustering up the confidence to say something like that to someone.
Right.
Definitely takes a whole lot of something. He did make it totally clear that as of right now, they haven't met up or gone on a date, but he's just kind of putting it out into the universe. As bold as that is, Kelley, last we've heard, is maybe kind of sort of dating somebody. I've been really curious to your point of like, are we going to see Kelley in Paradise? What's going on there? Because this new mystery man in her life, she has been totally quiet about. We haven't even gotten like source details about their relationship, really. So we're not really sure where her life is going, where things stand, if things are really heating up with someone new, if it's going to be super serious. There's no chance that we'll see her looking for love in Bachelor Nation anytime soon. Or if this was just something she was exploring for a little bit and keeping private. When she recently stopped by Caitlin Bristow's Off the Vine podcast, she hinted that she's not entirely single, basically said she had been on a few dates with a guy who isn't in the entertainment business at all and that she's going to be keeping details private. So Bennett is aware of this. He said he's just going to kind of see how things pan out. It has been reported, granted, we don't really know one way or another 100%, but it has been reported that they did reach out to Kelley about Paradise and that she wasn't feeling it because of, either this guy or just whatever's going on in her life. But nothing is set in stone until it's set in stone. So do we
Mhm.
think that they could, whether it's this season or a season down the line, knowing he's interested, try to put these two on the beach together and see what happens?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't see anything working out for any couple when you have one person who's interested in them exposing the fact that you've been DMing on social media. If you're dating somebody and they find out, like, hello, newsflash, you just found out that your whoever you're seeing, not technically your girlfriend, but someone you'd be interested in being your girlfriend, is actually DMing someone else who is interested in her and has made it very public knowledge that he is interested in pursuing a relationship with her. So that to me feels, weird. Like, I don't see that working out. If it was me, I'd be like, "So, you've been DMing somebody, have you?" So maybe it doesn't work out with whoever she's seeing. I mean, she wasn't interested in going on Paradise for this guy, but she was interested in DMing Bennett. It's just, again, there's got to be something we don't know there. Maybe she's just being very pleasant and polite to him. Maybe there's really no flirting going back and forth, and he's making it sound like there's more than there is. But yeah, if things don't work out with this guy, then there's definitely a chance at Paradise. Like you said, nothing's set in stone. And if someone is really looking for love, not only is there a chance to find it in Paradise, but it's like you get to go to Paradise. Who wouldn't want to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, listen, he had that conversation with Peter. Let's say things aren't working out or don't work out with this guy Kelley is seeing and they do end up together. I'm just thinking producers must be absolutely dying to try to make this happen. Kelley is a fan
Mhm.
favorite. Bennett is controversial. I mean, it's TV gold. The end of the day, that conversation with Peter, it didn't go horribly, apparently. According to Bennett, Peter told him that Kelley is someone he really cares about and always will, but that Bennett feels he technically gave his blessing, saying, "It seems like you're a great guy. I really appreciate you asking." Feels like he walked away from a nice conversation there. So, again, who knows how that all played out? At the end of the day, that's a fairly mature response from Peter. Good for him. But I guess if we were to actually see these two potentially pursue something, everyone's cool with it. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, we just want everyone to follow their heart and find love in Bachelor Nation. I can't quite wrap my mind around it for some reason, though.
Yeah, guys are so weird because, again, if someone said that to me, even if it was someone I dated years ago, I'd be like, that's weird that you would say that to me. Unless we were really good friends and they were like, you know what, I have to run this by you. I feel like I've developed an interest for this person. But seeing as though they just met, I just find it icky. But then again, guys they operate so differently than women. Like they really do. So it was a very mature response from Peter. And maybe it's genuine. Maybe he's really like, sure. I mean, if you're interested in her, go for it. But I don't know. Something seems off to me there. So only time will tell
I
how
know.
people really feel.
Yeah, that is truly, Mariah, the best way of putting it. Only time will tell on so many things here, you guys. Will we meet this mystery man in Kelley's life? Will we ever see her, Bennett, in Paradise? Could there ever be something there? We got a lot of questions and we won't be getting any answers for some time. But don't you worry, we will do our best to stay on top of it, keep you updated. With all of that being said, this is everything we know right now. So we want to know your thoughts. Do you see these two potentially working as a couple in a perfect world if everything worked out? Let us know down in the comments. And of course, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any Bachelor Nation updates. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, joined by the wonderful Mariah Davis. If you want to come say hi, our social handles are on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.